So allegedly, a video of Leah Ashe and Zach, MeganPlays' husband, has surfaced online of them kissing in public. And today we're going to be talking about it as well as some misinformation that's been going on, because since my last video, there's been a lot more content released by MeganPlays, especially comments, that add further insight to the situation and kind of clarify some questions we had from the last video. Now again, just like in the last video, I have to clarify everything in this video is speculation and is alleged. My intention of these videos is not meant to send hate or harassment, and it's not meant to spread misinformation. My goal is to make educational and commentary content where I discuss situations, point out things that are blatantly false and people trying to, start drama on the internet, and clear up any misinformation from what I believe to be true based on the information I've collected. So please keep that in mind. Also, in my last video, I did get a lot of comments of, oh, maybe you shouldn't talk about this. I feel like this is kind of sensitive. And, I really did try to weigh the pros and cons of creating a video about the situation in the first place. But I feel like with all of the fake content going on out there, the rhetoric around Megan and just the way people are speaking about the situation, I feel like the pros of making a video to clear up what I believe to be true and information that has been shared and just present it to you in regards to like a non-biased kind of perspective where I just show you exactly what has been put on the internet so you can make your own informed opinion. I feel like the pros of that outweigh the cons of allowing misinformation to continue to circulate. So that is why I'm making these videos. But to people who are making videos putting Megan's child in the video or saying, I know this 100% and this is true and this is bad, that in my opinion is completely out of line. Megan did post her child online, but I really, personally, in my opinion, I don't think the child needs to be brought into this situation, especially on YouTube. So for those of you that are putting the child's face in your videos and like dramatizing it and stuff like that, and like it's just really not needed. So anyways, getting straight into it, I received like 10 Discord tickets over the past 12 hours over this, so I'm not going to credit any particular person because so many people sent it to me, so thank you to everybody who did. But basically what happened is this video, which I'm going to put on your screen, has surfaced online. Now, when I initially saw this video, which if you don't know, the guy on the left, I think, is allegedly Zach, and the woman on the right is allegedly Leah. Now, as you can see the video, they do kiss, and when I first saw this video, I genuinely thought it was AI. With the Sora AI, specifically like the development of AI videos, it can be so hard to tell what is real and what is fake. And even now, I'm still not 100% sure if this is real or fake, but with what Megan has said on her public TikTok, which I'll get into in a second here, and how she's responded to comments about the video, I would err on the side that this may potentially be true. Again, I'm not 100% sure, because it's really hard to tell an AI video apart from a real video. Example, the monkey that's like ringing the doorbell, I'll put it on the screen if I can find it. It looks so real. Obviously, I know the monkey's not actually ringing the doorbell and banging on the door, but it looks so realistic. It's so hard to tell. And a lot of these videos, especially like the bunnies jumping on the trampoline, if I can find that, I'll put that on the screen. It is so hard to tell, and that's why I feel like you have to be very careful when you're seeing content online and whether or not you choose to just blindly believe it without doing any background research. And so when I saw this video and I was sent this video by a lot of you guys, I did go ahead to Megan's channel to kind of cross-check and see if she had said anything about it, and she in fact has. So we're going to go through what Megan has said on her channel that kind of, in my opinion, confirms what is being said, and that video is allegedly, based on what Megan is saying or alluding to, real. So this video, which was posted today actually, 6 hours ago, reads, "Making breakfast for your toddler when you see the most diabolical, heinous, disgusting video pop up on your For You page." And keep in mind, she doesn't mention her husband at all in this video. And in the comments, this comment by Steffi reads, so sorry girl, there's literally no shame in their eyes, it's sad, wishing you the best. And I believe what Steffi is referring to is the video of allegedly Zach and Leah kissing. And Megan replies an hour later saying, like you think they would play it cool the same week all this is happening, right? And that further corroborates to me that this is about Leah and Zach, because this whole situation became public on the internet almost exactly a week ago. And so her saying, oh, it correlates with the week that this came out, reinforced to me that that's what she's talking about. There's again a lot of comments about this. There's one by Kira that reads, "What is their issue? They have no shame. What the hell?" And she liked that comment. Again, these are screenshots that I've taken. You guys did send me screenshots, but to do my due diligence, I did go to the video to take my own screenshots just to double check that they're real. Obviously, I don't think you guys would send me fake stuff, but sometimes you don't know something's fake. But yeah, I can confirm these comments are 100% real. I just went on the TikTok. I took these with my own computer. These are comments that are actually posted. There's another one by DJ that says, "Haha, you're smiling and laughing about it. I love you, girl." And she says, "At this point, what can I do? I cope with humor." And people are then commenting the video or like pictures of the video on the channel. Ian says, shit aside, the cinnamon toast looks bomb. She has cinnamon toast, honey, peanut butter, and chia seeds. So she's kind of just discussing in the comment section that this is accurate, and from what I can understand and from the way I have interpreted her message, which perhaps I'm misinterpreting it, she is confirming that the video is in fact real. That's what I'm getting from this. Again, I could be misinterpreting, so feel free to let me know if you think I'm doing that in the comment section. Now, aside from that, she has posted other content, two of which I would almost characterize as being, I wouldn't call them thirst traps because she's a naturally incredibly beautiful woman, but she's really like flaunting like, you know, her beauty in these videos, which isn't necessarily related to the situation, but that's what these two videos are, and her hair looks amazing. Aside from that, there's also this video, to this audio, which I think a lot of you guys might remember, but I can't play it because of YouTube copyright, but the song goes, I'm right where you left me, the Tower of Memories, which is a song about being left behind and forgotten and tossed aside like you mean nothing, which personally, side note, is one of my favorite songs. I think the artist of that song is incredibly talented. But regardless, in the video she says new hair, and then the audio to the song, which is about being forgotten. And personally, in my opinion, I feel like the choice of audio in a lot of her videos is very purposeful. We saw that in the last video where she used an audio saying, oh, like, just forget about me, and now she's using another audio saying, yeah, you just forgot about me, you left me behind. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, you guys can let me know, but personally, I feel like the choice of audio here is very purposeful in my opinion. There's also this video where she's holding her cat, and it reads, when they hold you at gunpoint and tell you to start dating again, but you've already had the love of your life, you're 30 with 5 pets and a baby to take care of. Now, in the description, she says, so now I'll just make TikToks, lol. And a lot of people are commenting on this video asking, are the rumors true? Are the rumors true? And, you know, personally, the way that I read this, she emphasizes here, I had the love of my life. Had is past tense of have, which I guess with the way I pronounce it, you can't always tell. I have kind of an accent sometimes when I speak, but had over have, again, past tense. So that tells me that he is no longer the love of her life. That's what this is alluding to me, which reinforces the notion that they are not together. I've seen a lot of people also saying like, oh my God, why don't you just tell us what's going on? Like, why are you being so cryptic about it? And this is 100% speculation, this section, so keep that in mind. But for those that don't know, when you separate from your partner, it is an incredibly challenging and lengthy process for most people, especially when there is this much money involved, because Megan, I would assume, is incredibly rich because of all the content she's done, the hard work that she's done on her YouTube channel. And when you separate, there are some areas of the world, which I'm not necessarily going to disclose where I think Megan lives or whatever, because that's not relevant, but there are some areas of the world where if your partner cheats on you, you can actually get money for damages from your partner cheating. And that is a whole legal process in itself. On top of that, if you get divorced or separate, there's something called a prenuptial agreement, which is basically, not to get too legal, because again, I'm not a lawyer, keep that in mind, but basically it's an agreement that you sign before you get married, where in the case that you get divorced or something happens, you keep all of your assets and your partner keeps all of their assets. Because if you don't have a prenuptial agreement, what can happen is when you get divorced, your partner takes half of everything you own. And so in that case, if there wasn't a prenuptial agreement, that can mean that her partner owns half of the MeganPlays channel, even though he didn't necessarily create the channel or contribute to it. That's just kind of how divorce stuff can work sometimes. It obviously depends on the country, but I would allude that maybe there's some stuff going on behind the scenes with, you know, separation potentially, and just how they're navigating this financially, that, you know, maybe the reason why she's not outwardly saying this or that. I think she's obviously being very mindful of the words she's using online, and is being very careful the way she words things, because this is, again, a very tricky situation and there's a lot of legality to it. And again, I'm not a lawyer, but I do know enough about like the divorce stuff to know that it's a very complex system, and it's not just as easy as, oh, we've broken up, we're done. There's a lot more context to it, a lot more steps, a lot more stuff you have to do in order to separate. And based on the wording in this video, I would err on the side that they are, I guess, separated, which rightfully so. If the allegations are true and your partner cheated, personally, I would not stay with my partner. But when you have a child in the middle of it, like, it's very challenging because the co-parenting comes into the mix. It's just a lot. And I think a lot of people are dumbing this down to just being a cheating scandal, allegedly, when there's so many more layers to this, and it is a much more complex issue that personally, I don't even know all of this stuff too, obviously, but this is just me talking from the information that I know from like my personal life and just the stuff that I've learned and how I apply that to this. But keep in mind, again, this varies by country, so divorce laws and the way that divorce happens and prenuptial agreements, it varies by region, so keep that in mind. But she's basically just been posting TikToks, and again, I think she's being very careful the way she's wording things. There's also this video, which is the last one I'm going to talk to you guys about today, where she writes, "Did something for myself tonight, back to Roblox tomorrow." And it's basically her going in the garage and moving stuff around and doing pottery. And a comment by Mackenzie Turner reads, "MeganPlays comeback of 2025." And Megan, responds by saying, "I mean, what else am I doing besides raising a whole baby?" So this again further reinforces the concept to me that she is raising this child potentially alone, or I guess she's single parenting, and maybe, I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much on custody because that's a whole other thing, and honestly, I'm just not in a position to do that. But I am curious, is it the child her sole responsibility? I would assume since it's their child, like they both have to take care of it, but I guess if she's taking care of it alone for part of the time, that'd be obviously incredibly difficult and challenging, especially since her child is a toddler, and the terrible twos are no joke. They are no joke. It's painful. And then people are saying that like Megan's their childhood, and she's like in the comments, and you know, a lot of people are saying really kind things. And I think another way that personally, from what I can think, a way that you can support Megan, which she hasn't asked for this, keep that in mind, this is just me saying this, but a way that I believe that you can support her in a situation where she is obviously going through something that is very difficult is by going to her channel, her content, TikTok, whatever platform you want to go to or you use, and liking her content and interacting with it. The more interactions that TikToks have, the more viewership YouTube has, the more it will be boosted to new audiences. So if you're liking her content, engaging with it, even if you're just doing laundry and playing her videos in the background, that actually helps boost content. And I'm sure she has lots of money because she's obviously a successful YouTuber, but at the end of the day, it never hurts to have a little bonus income when you're going through something that is obviously incredibly challenging and I'm sure financially draining and, you know, mentally draining as well. So if you guys can, I would really highly recommend that you guys go show Megan support either through kind words, encouraging words, by liking her content, following her, interacting with her content. And I'm sure you guys will actually realize she makes some pretty good videos. You know, it's not necessarily my age demographic so much anymore, but I would like come home from school and sit in front of the giant plasma TV in my basement and watch MeganPlays for like hours and hours every single day. And so I was an OG fan a very, very long time ago. But, you know, you guys might actually realize, especially if you are kind of like the age range that Megan makes content for, that her content actually really resonates with you and you guys might actually really enjoy it. It could be a good opportunity to find a new YouTuber you guys might want to watch that you haven't really seen before. But anyways, there's obviously a lot of conversations going on the internet, and again, I want to emphasize that everything in this video is just speculation, it's alleged, you know, I'm going off of the information that I have personally found, and I've seen a lot of content of like other videos that are really, really obviously AI of Zach and Leah that are very obviously fabricated because like some person in the background has like 8 arms. So when you're looking at any sort of videos, which I did look at the kissing video, and I'm gonna be honest, my eyesight isn't that great. But I really did try to look for any discrepancies or like people like having an extra finger or like a bench not having a leg sit properly or something like that, because those are usually like key indicators of AI. And personally, when I looked at it, I couldn't find that. But you never know, there could be indicators of AI. So if you guys have seen any, please let me know in the comment section. And again, unless everything is 100% proven and confirmed by the parties involved, I would always err on the side of something not being true rather than being true, because the kind of allegations that are going on are very damaging to reputations and stuff like that. And so it's important to be mindful that people have a lot to gain from lying about this. I'm not talking about Megan, but like people on the internet that, you know, want to just milk the situation and post fake AI videos and like dramatize it and get people all wound up in the comment section. I think people have to be aware that that's something that obviously people are going to do to get a quick buck. And my intention with these videos is to spread, you know, just what has been posted by Megan, what she is allegedly confirming, and what people are saying in the comments and what she has said in the comments. You know, when I do speculate, I try my best to be very clear this is speculation, I'm not sure. For those of you that maybe do want to talk about the situation, I would really encourage you to always err on the side of stuff not being true rather than it being true, because again, it's very damaging to falsely accuse people of stuff. And I'm not saying that's what's happening here necessarily, but you know, at the end of the day, it's a lot easier to say I don't know and maybe than saying 100% yes and then getting in trouble later because you completely ruin someone's reputation. So with that in mind, please be mindful of the content you guys are interacting with, what you guys are saying is true and stuff like that. I share the content with you that I have access to and that is public, so you guys can make your own informed opinion on whether or not what your thoughts are on this situation. But if you guys can, I would highly encourage you to go watch Megan's content, support her, send her some kind words right now, because I think people underestimate the power of words on the internet, and you know, a nice comment can really brighten up somebody's day and make somebody feel better. So please show her some love on her content, interact with her content, you know, check out her channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys will actually find that you really enjoy her content if you've never seen it before. But regardless, thank you guys for watching, and again, be mindful of what you're seeing on the internet and what you're believing. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.